You get stale.
Popcorn?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
You forget about things like stale.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn. Pop.
This is the
Stale.
Popcorn.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stale Popcorn Podcast. I'm your host, Steven, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Chris04. Chris, what's the question of the day?
Steve, how about this, Steve? Just to get to know you a little more, what was the last movie you shed a tear?
Ooh.
Wept.
That would probably be the movie About Time.
Ooh.
With Rachel McAdams and Gleason boy. Domhnall Gleeson.
It's been
If
that
you haven't
long,
seen
huh?
it, it's a great one. Now, I watched it a couple...
I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's a good one. What about yourself, Christopher?
I watched this flick. I think we talked about it a few months back about it's got that one Mexican dude from Overboard. You know who I speak?
I know of who you speak. I can't think of his name. Instructions not included.
Yes, that's the one. Oh, yeah. Shed many a tears, cried, wept. That was probably 4 months ago or something.
Very good, very good. Well, Chris, we got quite the show here, so we're going to dive into it. We got D23 news, just multitudes of trailers be coming out this week. So I texted you earlier and I said, do you mind if I take the D23 news? And you said, what's that? And so,
yeah, just in case no one knows, what is that Disney? What's
it's Disney's San Diego Comic-Con, because they got their own little event and they do shows and announcements and everything. But they announced and showed just a metric ton of stuff. So I'm going to go through real quick and I want to get your opinion. Either give me like a yes or a no type deal on if you're excited for it or not. How about that?
Yes.
All right. In the realm of Star Wars, we got Skeleton Crew, which is
no.
Okay.
I don't even care. Don't even finish that. I don't know. What is that? Some Ander or something?
No, it's Jude Law and Space Kids running about.
Jude Law from... Was he in Star Wars?
No, I think this is his
first run. Am I thinking of Woody?
Yeah.
Part of them? I don't know. All right. No for me.
Andor Season 2.
Never finished Season 1, so I'm going to say no for me as well. But I heard Andor's good.
Oh, you must finish it, Chris. It's actually good.
If we're doing a pod, I'll watch Season 1. And
very good,
but
yeah.
Still,
Mando and Grogu, the movie.
No.
Fair enough.
Never finished Season 3. I remember liking Season 1, too. I just forgot about Season 3, and it's been too far gone for me, Steve.
Chris, we're in the exact same boat, shoulder to shoulder, attack ships on fire. Here we go.
Yeah, all right. Yep, that's how the saying goes. You're right.
Avatar 3, Fire and Ash.
Ooh, I did like the last Avatar quite a bit, so sure, why not? I'm sure it'll make $2 billion.
And we got a bunch from Pixar here. We got Dream Productions, which is a spin-off from Inside Out about the dream world.
I know someone that's going to be excited for that.
Is that your wife?
My wife. She's going to watch it
My
dozens.
wife.
My wife.
We got another one, Hoppers, with John Hamm and Bobby Moynihan.
No. Is that some Zootopia?
Yeah.
BS? Nah.
Incredibles 3. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Disney. I'm not really into those as much, but out of all those, sure. I liked Incredibles.
Yeah. And then there's one more from Pixar, Toy Story 5. Yeah. I get that.
None of these are really...
Nothing's grabbing
really
me,
driving me. Nothing's really getting me peaked.
Well, I got more. Don't you? There's some that will get you, I bet. From Disney Animation, we got Moana 2, where the trailer came out, too, as well.
Never even seen Moana 1.
Okay.
Next.
Frozen the musical.
No.
Frozen 3.
No.
Zootopia 2.
No.
Lilo and Stitch.
No.
Gosh, Mufasa.
Is it just his death scene on loop? Because maybe.
For an hour and a half, yeah.
No, I remember one time falling asleep on the couch and then someone was watching Lion King and I just woke up in tears. So... maybe, but I'm guessing it's one of those live action. Those don't really hit with me.
I get that, yeah.
I don't like those injected in my veins.
Yeah. All right, we got Marvel, Daredevil Born Again.
Movie or show?
It's a show.
Has it got the Punisher?
It's got the Punisher. The Bash brother, he's back.
Well, if it's got the Punisher, I like it. I like the Punisher. Anything with him, I never finished Daredevil, but I would watch the season with Punisher, I'd just skip till I saw Punisher. So, I mean, I'll probably do that if I'm being honest.
Fair enough. Ironheart.
Is that the mortal Ironheart, that annoying guy?
No,
I'm
it's
the mortal Iron Fist.
She's Iron Man, but she's a young black girl.
So, not a man. Does she even have iron?
I think so. She was in Black Panther 2, you remember? You remember that
the
flick?
Sister?
No, they went to the college and she's like, hey, I'm Iron Man too. She has that janky little suit and then she gets the Power Ranger suit at the end.
You know, I wasn't a huge fan of that movie and I don't really remember what you're talking about, so I'm going to say no to whatever you're asking here, Steve. Now, please move on.
Fair enough. Moving on. Agatha, All Along.
No.
Okay, what about Fantastic Four footage release? Did you see the image of what's his bucket in his...
Page?
What?
Row?
No, not Pedro. The other guy.
Cal?
Not Pedro Pascal. The other guy, Joseph Quinn. He's wearing the suit. He's looking like a real nerd.
No, he's Torch.
He's Johnny Storm.
Yes.
Yeah,
what's Ghost Rider's name again? Is it Johnny Blaze?
Yeah.
Okay, I was right. Sorry.
It was close.
Continue.
Yeah, no, you're good. Same vein. Both fire elements there.
Yes.
You excited for that one?
Ghost Rider?
No.
That's a thing, sure.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
it takes place in the 60s, Christopher.
I'm not a huge 60s guy, but I like, I'll give it. I like the actors. I like Pedro. I feel like he's pretty much in bangers.
Oh, yeah, sure.
He's got a good track.
Yeah. We got more, Christopher. There's the Thunderbolts trailer.
No.
And also, yeah, I don't know. This one looks real stupid to me.
To me, it's kind of like young Indiana Jones type, where it's like not the real thing. It's like.
Well, I liken it to like a Great Value off-brand kind of cereal, because you got, who do you have on the team? You got Winter Soldier, the Russian guy. You got 3 Captain Americas with the same powers, basically.
It's the Russell boy, Wyatt Russell, right?
Yep.
And you're talking probably Black Widow girl.
Yeah, Black Widow 0.5. It's
someone else. Probably
the ghost lady who phases through things.
Oh yeah,
and then Taskmaster. You can tell by our voices we're just enthusiastic about this.
I don't even know what Taskmaster is.
She copies fight moves. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Control C, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Next,
we got Percy Jackson season 2.
I never finished season 1. So probably not. Not really. Maybe are you into any of these, or am I just bashing your dreams?
No, my dreams were not bashed. I just, our crowd's expecting some news from us, so we just wanted to deliver it to them. But
I'm saying, are you into any of these? Because if you want to, I can act excited for you. Tell me the next one you're into. Give me a little hint, and then I'm going to act super excited for you, Steve.
I don't think you'll need to act super excited for this next one, because both of us were red-blooded men, young men watching this. It stars Lindsay and Jamie. We're talking bloody Freakier Friday.
And Jamie Dornan?
No, Jamie Lee Curtis. There you go. That's a genuine smile on your face, I could tell.
Oh, yeah. My wife's super excited for this.
Yes.
I'm sure she's going to watch it 18 times. I'll watch it midnight premiere. If they still do that, I'll buy whatever the popcorn bucket they got. I'm sure it's some Chinese fortune cookie bucket. And
yeah.
That'll be fun.
I'm excited
I'll watch
for that one. And then the last one is Tron Ares, which is meh.
Has it got Jeff?
It's got Jeff. Jeff's back, baby.
That's a movie I haven't thought about it a day in my life since I saw it. And I'm sure I'll watch it. But
Yeah, me too. Just meh. And that's all the basic. There's other little ones in there, but I didn't even think they were worth mentioning for us.
Did they announce a Punisher show? Is that confirmed, or am I just...
I think you're just wishful thinking there, Chris. At least in my mind, it wasn't announced, but then again...
I never got into any of those, but I love me the Punisher. He's a favorite character of mine.
You've said, twice now. You got a real crush on him.
And I like that actor, John. He's a good actor, man.
He's a man among men, yes. He's broken his nose 14 times.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Speaking of broken bones, did you know that scene in Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers? Yeah.
Oh, man. If you know, you know.
I know.
Anyway, moving on. We got trailers, buddy.
Ooh, yes.
I'm sure you were annoyed because I sent you so many trailers and you're probably just
me, I love trailers.
Yeah?
Why don't you rank them? You start off with the least excited one you were, and we'll move through.
Oh, man. It's probably got to be Captain America, Brave New World.
Oh.
That's probably
really?
Down there. Just because
it's
like...
it would have been Rings.
Oh, I forgot about the Rings of Power. You made me remember the Rings of Power, Christopher.
You know me, I didn't hate the show. Like, it's not on par with, if you compare it to Lord of the Rings, obviously you're going to be disappointed, but I was like, it wasn't bad. Excited, but the more of these trailers, I prefer not to watch them because they get me less excited.
And that's the opposite of the goal of the trailer, so.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think.
They got what did you poison me? And he looks all weird. And I'm like, I can already tell I hate whatever this storyline is. Can we just, that's one I skip past? And
yeah, I'm trying to be more optimistic about that. I'm in the same boat as you where I'm kind of like, I don't want to see anymore. Let's just wait to see it. What does that come out in next week or so?
29th. So 2 weeks.
We'll be probably reviewing that first 3 episodes or so.
Yeah, I think season 1 was a week by week, if I recall. So I'm assuming it's not going to pull a Fallout and just drop them all,
Yeah, I think the first 3 are releasing at once, and then it's week by week. So anyway, moving on, we got Kraven the Hunter. Did you know heroes are made and not born?
Are you serious?
That's the tagline they're going with.
Well,
or is it villains are the friends we born along the way? What is it?
Yeah, born along the way, friends we make. I like the character.
Yeah.
He's one of my more favorite Spider-Man villains.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, the more trailers I see, the less, I still don't think it's going to be a good movie per se, but I think it could at least be fun compared to, Madam Web's, where it's just this is just intolerable. But honestly, this I don't think is going to be bad.
It's probably on the same level of your Venom.
Yeah.
This one actually doesn't look bad. What I liked was Rhino. You got a good look at Rhino. I thought it looked pretty good. Really cool.
It looks cooler than in a suit Paul Giamatti Russian Rhino,
So some villains we got in here in the trailer. You got Kraven, Rhino, Calypso, Chameleon. And I saw on the Twitters where it says, whenever Sony uses a villain, they block Marvel Studios from using them, which means they are not many left for the MCU Spider-Man to face off against. Did you know that, Christopher?
I didn't.
Yeah, so
I also didn't notice. I don't even know who Calypso is. I didn't notice Chameleon, but
she's from
I know
Curse of the Black Pearl, Calypso.
That's what I was thinking. I release you from your human bonds.
Yeah. No, so I guess they kind of painted the MCU into a wall in terms of Spider-Man villains. Sony's used most of them, if not all of them, all the good ones at least. And a lot of people online, they're hemming and hawing, saying, oh, Marvel's in trouble and Sony's ruined it, they're having a bad day. But I contend it's an opportunity, Christopher.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other villains. You got the Hydro guy, if you remember him.
Yeah.
They never used him.
I'm thinking from the video games, Tombstone.
Oh, yeah. Hammerhead,
yeah. Mr. Negative. So they got an opportunity to do something. There's still some good villains. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Speaking of Kraven, so there was delays for Kraven that allowed for reshoots to take place to, quote, sharpen the characters and tighten the plot. Sony is so happy with the film that they're working with J.C. Chander again on a murder mystery film inspired by Succession.
So, okay, yeah, sure. Inspired by Succession, it's going to be taking place in that universe, or?
I don't know that, but I think that more of the news is hey, they don't hate the guy, which I assume J.C. Chander is the director.
Yeah.
Or at least he's higher up, but they're like, hey, we'll keep working with him, which means it can't be that bad. I'm assuming 20th Century, whoever Borderlands, I'm sure they're not lining up with Eli Roth to film another movie,
Oh, yeah. Moving on, Captain America Brave New World trailer. What'd you think of that, Chris?
I don't think when they say, you may be Captain America, but you're no Steve Rogers, I wonder if the person writing that and they keep putting the trailers. Thought like this is gonna go so hard. I don't know. What do you think of that line? I'm like, yeah, he's not.
Yeah,
That's
of course
like,
he's not. He's a different skin color.
Yeah, you may be the talking to Joe Biden. Hey, you may be the president of the United States, but you're not Abraham Lincoln. You're like, well, yeah,
yeah, obviously.
it's a title. Like,
yeah.
What do you want from me here? But that one I don't have super high hopes for.
Did you see the Hulk at the end, Chris?
The Red Hulk?
I
did notice it this time.
Very good. I'm proud of you.
he looked, I don't know.
My main concern is why
it,
does his hair change? It went from gray to black.
I don't even know what Red Hulk is. I thought that was like Space Hulk or something, or Extra Mad Hulk. What makes him go red here?
Who's to say? Comment below if you know the lore.
Please tell me.
Do you want to talk about the Snow White trailer?
Did you send me that?
I don't think I did, because I was on the fence on whether or not you want to talk about it.
I'm just going to act like I saw it here, because I don't really care. Fine. What do you think, Steve?
It exists.
Unless you want me to be excited.
It's not. I don't think it's for us. A lot of grown men are really upset about it, but I'm also like, both of us have never been on board with any of the, live action remakes anyway, so that's another one of these.
I don't really know anyone that's excited for this. Even my wife, like, she's a big Disney douche, as we talk about, and I don't think she really, like, she was gung-ho for Little Mermaid and all the, like, Lion King, whatever. Mm-hmm. And she always watches those, and she's, like, disappointed. And I'll watch it with her, and I'm like, that was fine. Like, I'll like it more than she does.
Someone pointed out on Twitter, it was a picture of her, Rachel Zegler and Snow White and Lord Farquaad. They look the same, and I can't unsee
it.
Really? Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
All I hear about is how no one really likes Rachel, or like she's not doing a good job on the whole press tour. You normally you gotta, even if it's a terrible movie, you gotta suck it up, act excited, like, wow, I love this, I love the source material. You'll get a few slip ups. You'll get your Ben Affleck, just looking depressed, staring in the camera for Batman v Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but she's like, this isn't like the other movies. This is different, this is, strong, feminine, she don't need no man and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like the pushback is like, well, the story is, there's
True
like the
love.
7 dwarves and True Love's Kiss, Apple, blah, 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 like, why remake it if you're not gonna do it? But also, like, I think she was, like, trashing, like, yeah, the story's kind of weird, which, I mean, to be fair, pretty much any sort of
fairy
story
tales are
from
weird, yeah.
fairy tales pretty weird, but anyways, I think that's enough Snow White for me.
That's enough. Well, you got any news for me, Chris?
I got some news here. Well,
Shoot.
You hear this? Deadpool and Wolverine has passed $1 billion worldwide.
And there was much rejoicing. Yes, very good.
It's the highest grossing R-rated film of all time. Passing, do you know what it passed?
The Passion.
Well, it passed that, but
Deadpool
the highest
2.
before was the Joker. So
interesting. Okay.
Now, a movie that didn't perform as hot, Borderlands, a movie we talked quite a bit about last week.
Yes.
It opened with $8.8 million domestically, with a budget of $115. So,
yikes!
It didn't make it flopped, and I'd say well deserved if you ask me.
Like a fish, yeah.
And a movie that didn't flop, Longlegs. So last week I talked about it made more money than Furiosa.
Yeah,
it's made over $100 million.
Wow.
And it's got a low budget of under $10 million. So it's done quite well for itself. Now, Twisters, another movie we enjoyed. It's out on digital after just 3 weeks in the theater, which I feel like is a missed opportunity because I'll talk to people, shout out Hiram. I was talking to him and he hadn't seen it. He's like, I'd watch that in the theater, it seems like a good theater to watch. And if you're already pulling it out on digital after 3 weeks, what are you doing here, man?
Yeah, that's definitely a theater watch, especially if I know of a friend who's got Regal Unlimited.
Are you serious?
In the 40X extra
RPX.
large.
RPX, man. RPX.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Glen Powell,
yeah,
him and Nicholas Braun will star in a new podcast series, The Best Man's Ghostwriter. The podcast follows a speechwriter hired to help write best man speeches and one of his clients exploring the often idiotic and of male friendship. Releasing September 12th on Audible.
Huh, interesting.
So if you want to fall asleep, listen to Glen's voice.
Yeah.
September 12th.
Boy, I feel like he's just like us. He played a YouTuber in Twisters just like us. He plays a podcast. We're basically the same person.
Yeah, we're the same. We're cut from the same cloth, Glen and us.
Definitely.
Another person cut from the same cloth, Channing Tatum, friend of the podcast, says he would do, quote, lots of terrible things to make a Gambit movie happen. Quote, I would kill kittens.
Whoa! Channing, be careful. Don't get canceled now.
He loves he loves Gambit. You gotta love that fiery passion.
Yeah. He'll be back, for sure.
Now, speaking of Deadpool, Halle Berry says she was never officially asked to return as Storm in Deadpool and Wolverine. Quote, Blake Lively asked me one time, I ran into her at Marc Jacobs' fashion show, and she said, would you ever be in my husband's movie as Storm? I said, yeah, if you asked, but he never asked me.
Yeah, it sounds like a couple missed opportunities there, Ryan. Maybe they just didn't have it in the budget.
I mean, I'm still mad at the Nick Cage not being there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nick Cage, man, I'm just segueing all over here.
You are. You're doing a great job.
He has been cast as John Madden in David O. Russell's Madden movie. The film will be part biopic, part making of the game.
Madden.
You know John Madden.
Game. John Madden, yes. Football. Go Sports. The team. The team Go Sports.
EA Sports.
It's in the game. Here, let me try that again. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Perfect. That was very good. Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Says he was depressed for 3 months after watching Star Wars because it was so good.
Why would that make you depressed, Ridley?
He then dropped his next project and made Alien instead.
I feel like that's one of those situations where, like, the Chinese guys would kill themselves because they found out Pandora's not real from Avatar. You know what I mean?
Is that a thing?
That's the thing. Yeah, look it up, Bookworm.
I guess I missed that. All right.
Yeah.
That's all the announcements I got, Steve. You got anything else?
I don't have any announcements, but what I do have is just a quick question for you, and that's what you've been watching, Chris.
I finished Twisted Metal.
Ah.
It's pretty good. I'd recommend. I think I'd give that a 3.5.
Oh, nice. Can you find it on like Hulu or Disney Plus? Peacock. Very good.
So good luck. I assume many don't have it, but I got a month because I was just trying to support my country watching the Olympics, and I figured, let's squeeze anything I can, and I saw that. But it's pretty good.
Nice.
It's a nice, I'd say a poor man's Fallout, if you will, which is still pretty good if you ask me.
That's good.
But that's about it. How about you, Steve?
Yeah, so my wife has been watching Love is Blind UK, which means I've been watching Love is Blind UK.
Sure,
and,
I think my wife's been watching that as well.
Yeah, it's entertaining enough, but if you take a minute just think about it for a second. Like, that show's good, right? The premise is good, it's all good there, but I feel like it's not honest, right? Because I feel like if love were really blind, they'd have like conventionally attractive people on one side and like real uggos on the other side. You know what I mean? I feel like that'd be more entertaining as well. What do you think?
Well, I'm with you. I've been trying to push. I want them to have like a bachelor or bachelorette where the bachelor or bachelorette is just like a objectively unattractive,
just a
overweight
normal guy.
person, but then you have all the contestants still super hot, and then you know, like, all right, let's see how well they can fake. Like, oh yeah, I love you.
Yeah,
I can see myself. I'm totally not doing this for TV or anything, you know.
Yeah, I would definitely be more into that because they already ruin everyone's life who goes on the show, right?
Yeah.
So why not really ruin?
No, come on.
Anyway, that's all
I love how every one of those shows, there's always like an episode where they're like, someone here's not on the show for the right reason.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Yeah, 100%. No one's here to find love, you freaking, obviously people are on here to be on TV.
Yeah.
But they're like, what? Are you kidding me? Oh, let's have a whole episode. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Any other announcements? Should we dive?
Let's
To
dive,
quote
Christopher,
Steve?
on the high top.
All right, we're
in.
diving in, 10 toes deep, 9 fingers in, keeping that middle finger out. Let's go.
We're talking Alien Romulus. Directed by, I'm going to butcher this, but Fede Alvarez. Now, do you know what he's directed? Not looking anything up, but have you heard of him?
I didn't, actually. Normally I look it up. I forgot to. I'm very unprepared.
Well, I got you, Chris. I'm prepared. He is most known for the Evil Dead remake in 2013. You see that?
2013. I seen that. I think I seen that with you.
I think Steve. I did show you. I watched that with you, or by myself, and I said, you guys got to watch this because it's good.
Oh,
and I remember quite liking it, if I recall correctly.
It's a little spooky, if I recall.
Mm-hmm. Relatively unknown cast in this movie. A lot of youngsters. I think.
Yes.
They're all early 20s, kind of.
I recognize the main gal.
What's she in?
She was in Civil War.
Ah, okay. Was she one of the young photographers?
Yes, she was.
Okay. Have you seen any Alien movies before this?
Do you count Alien vs. Predator? Because I seen the heck out of that.
Did we have the same childhood, man? Because that's the only one I've seen, too.
I saw that, and I saw the very first Alien.
Yeah, I got no skin in the game.
Yeah, I watched the first Alien probably 6 or 7 years back. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those, it holds to my theory of the older films, because that's like 81 or something, 79. Yeah. I don't remember a ton about it. I remember not being super into it, because it was an older one. Yeah, I didn't have a ton of skin in the game. I was hoping you would, be here and educate me and tell me all the intricacies and all the alien stuff.
And here I thought you would do the same for me, because I was like, I'm sure Chris would do some homework for us.
Yeah. I'm more of a Predator.
Gotcha.
I
get that.
A fan of the Predators, I should say. But,
cancel Chris. We're done.
Yeah, sorry. But
no,
yeah,
I'm right there with you.
I like
the
Predators more. I've seen most of those, I'd say.
I finally feel like what a non-Marvel fan feels like. I got no skin in the game. I don't know any of the lore or anything, so really going in here blind. I thought it was pretty good. Short answer, no spoilers, but yeah, it's good.
As someone that hasn't really seen any other ones, I'm sure there's references you pick up on, but as far as just watching it by itself, I thought it was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Without having it's pretty self-explanatory. Don't really need a backstory.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I thought it was pretty good. It's not one I'll probably watch again anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get spooked very often, and I was on the edge of my seat some of these. I was really trying to put myself in their position here, and I get a little anxious, get a little nervous.
Would you say it's spooky?
I'd say it's spooky.
Would you say it's scarier than Longlegs?
I was more scared, I'd say. I still wasn't really scared, but yeah, I was more on the edge of my seat than I thought it was better than Longlegs, if you ask me. And I'm not a space guy. I'm not a sci-fi guy. And as far as space movies, this is, I'd say Galaxy Quest my number one, but this is, it's up there. I like it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, without spoiling, I think if you can go in here not knowing anything about the franchise and think it's a good movie, and like Chris said, I'm sure there's references and stuff to the old ones, but for those who might be a little more privy to the whole franchise and you are on the fence about going to see it, yeah, I had to do some research here, but this one is, from what I found, a direct sequel to the first one. Just a quick little story breakdown for you. It follows, I don't remember her name. What's the main character's name? Scarlett. Jenna.
It's Rain.
Rain?
Her name's Rain, according to Wikipedia.
Fair enough. Rain has a robot named Andy.
Yes.
And they're on this grubby, just mess of a planet who are just full of miners, and it looks like the Mustafar system from Star Wars 3, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to get out of there, and so they get their friends, and their friends are like, hey, we have a plan to get out of here and go to a different planet where the sun shines, but we're going to need your robot because he knows how to get up to the spaceship that's floating up above us, and we can get some cryogenic sleep pods and sleep in those and transport ourselves over to the other planet. They get on up there, and to quote Ralph Fiennes from that one bloody
Prince of Egypt. What are we? Harry Potter.
No, that
the
one.
Menu.
What's that gosh dang movie? The Coen brothers. You're like, where that it was so simple. You know what I mean? Have you seen
Red
that?
Dragon. I don't know I don't know what you're talking.
Anyway,
man.
it's not as simple as they make it out to be, and they run into certain things, primarily an alien Romulus.
Yes.
And without spoiling, that's pretty much the start of it. Yeah.
And that's all pretty clear in the trailer.
Yeah. Didn't spoil nothing, but
So I'd say if you like scary, there's some pretty gory scenes. I wouldn't. It's not
it's not as gory as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I thought I was in for a blood bath, but I was quite dry.
Yeah, you were dry. You are quite dry. Yeah, it wasn't. There's some things a little icky, but
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, I would say like even Fallout was probably more gory than that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If you're into the spooky and you're into the space sci-fi, if you ever played Dead Space, kind of like Dead Space, very similar in a sense.
All right.
Part of the same space here. If we don't got anything else, should we
tuck in and dive,
cannonball
Chris?
in?
Let's do some spoilies here.
All right,
So-
I'm tucking. Let's go bad then good.
Okay, bad.
Just to end on such a high note.
Good on you. Yeah, that's a good idea. I was not a fan of seeing Ian Holm recreated digitally.
That was my number one.
Yeah. I felt it was...
Didn't really look that good. It wasn't good CGI for him.
Didn't look good. I did not feel like it was earned. It felt like... I get that he's a robot, but like they probably used AI to recreate his voice, and the whole time I was thinking, look how they massacred my boy. You know what I mean? It's like, it didn't feel right. It made me feel rotten.
I felt the same. I mean, I wasn't really feeling rotten per se, but it just like didn't look that good.
Mm-hmm.
And
the mouth didn't move right. Nothing looked good at all. I don't know.
I watched this with my boy, Sean.
Mm.
Shout out to Sean here. We're kind of in the same vein where I'm like, you didn't really need to have it be Ian Holm.
Yeah.
And since you like know, oh, this is supposed to be Ian Holm, it like looks weird. You could just get some other actor, like, so you don't have to CGI it. As far as I know, from what I remember, Ian Holm was a robot, an alien.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same robot. It's like he's that model.
The same model.
So they look
kind
of like a Boba Fett Clone Wars type thing.
Exactly.
But you could easily just be like, here's a different model.
Yeah.
Human. So you don't have to have it look all weird.
Like they did with the Andy robot.
Yeah.
Or even the Michael Fassbender. Bring him back, you know?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't really into that.
Now, can I guess number 2 on your qualms list?
You can guess.
It's an hour 59.
It did drag at parts. It wasn't number 2 on my list, but it was on there. It felt like it kind of drags a little. Do we want to explain more of the plot, I guess? Spoilers.
If you want to. I mean,
it's basically everyone dies except her and the robot. And someone lady gives birth to an alien half hybrid.
You nailed it right on the head, Chris.
All right. Well, let me try this again here. So they get on there, like Steve said, they're trying to get the
cryo sleep pod.
And they go in this room and they have to get some like power converter things. They had to go to Tashi Station to pick up power converters. Yeah. And when they pull that out, it basically defrosts the aliens. These little little small little
face
aliens.
Huggers is what they're called.
Face huggers. Once they all become defrosted and then they're getting chased by these. And basically they hop on your face, they penetrate you through the mouth. And then it's born, what do they call the big alien?
Xenomorph.
Xenomorph, that's right. Turns into a xenomorph. So they kill the minority Asian first. So she turns to a xenomorph. Basically everyone's dying and you find out that robot Ian Holm, they take his microchip out, put it in Andy, who's basically the main character, Rain's brother, basically. Been living with this guy for her life. You know, he's kind of like her protector. Her parents are dead. She's an orphan. He's kind of a silly dad joke robot.
Yeah.
And once she puts the AI into him, he turns more into Ian Holm. First, his priority was protecting her. Now his priority is for the company, is doing what's best for the company.
Yes.
And from what I could tell, the robots had found the aliens and were doing some sort of experiments where they extract some black liquid. And they're trying to put that in the humans to help them evolve faster because they get the good qualities of the alien thing where they can regenerate. Am I getting this right?
Have a tail. Yep. The robots really wanted humans to have tails, and so they looked at the xenomorphs and they said, let's splice the DNA together, even make some black goo. I'm sure most of this is explained probably in Prometheus or whatever. I remember black goo being a center point of that movie trailer, but
yes.
Yeah, they want to evolve humanity for some reason.
Basically, the robot he doesn't really care about the people as much. He's more about, like, how can I get this black goo out of this place safely? So, like, that's his mission. Mm-hmm. So you got the alien that's hunting them as a villain, but also this robot, he can't be trusted. He's a little slimy.
Yes.
And so basically, one by one, people are, acid, spit on this guy, he dies, this person dies, this person dies. It ends up where it's just main girl Rain, robot, and this pregnant gal.
Who gets hugged in the face by one of them creatures.
Yes. Rain decides, you know what, pregnant chick, you go up, you take off, I'm going to go back, save the robot. She goes back, she's able to pull out the microchip. Now he's back to a nice, your friendly neighborhood robot. And then they're going up. They get all in the ship, and you think it's all farewell, and the next thing you know, the pregnant girl gives birth to a half alien, half human, and that kills her, and they end up killing that alien, then it ends the movie, basically. So it's just her, Rain, and robot live.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything? That's pretty good. Are we good there?
That's pretty much it.
There's a scene. So this is what the robot, he's like, here's some guns. Don't shoot any bullets, because if you shoot a hole, we're all screwed because we're out in space here. Mm-hmm. But maybe it'll scare the alien. Mm-hmm. And then later on, it's like, all right, it's just the girl and the robot. They're cornered. And she's like, you know what? Let me turn on the turn on the gravity thing so that the gravity's off. And then she can shoot bullets fine.
Well, Chris, I let me clarify it for you.
Yes.
The robot was like, you can't shoot any of the aliens because their blood is acid, and if it falls on the ground, it'll bleed right through everything and punch a hole in the cabin.
See, that's why you're here, Steve.
Yeah, so hopefully does that make more sense on why they're like, well, we got to turn on the gravity. I thought that was the coolest part of the movie. TBH.
I think so, too. So, well, okay, so that I thought it was more of the bullets piercing through, but so they shoot the alien. She shoots the aliens, and it's the anti-gravity. So the acid's just floating. And this is the coolest scene, I thought, too, where they're basically trying to go from point A to point B, but there's like this floating acid you have to dodge and such.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. That was my positives. But there's a part where they're like, all right, these guns, they only have one clip, 450 bullets. And as she's shooting these aliens, you got the robots like 40% left, 20% left. And it makes you think she's about run out of bullets here, killing these aliens. And now she's doing that cool scene where she's moving. But then she still shoots some bullets to go move around and such. And then it ends up the robot shoots a bunch of bullets at an alien. It just seemed like, I mean, I'm not tracking bullets by any means, but it was just like, all right, you were so specific, like there's no bullets left, but then they shoot a good, 50 bullets afterward. And
it's the same theory on your gas tank, where if you see that light on, you still got like 100 miles left.
I guess so. All right, fair enough.
I guess positives, I loved the atmosphere. I loved the aesthetic of it all, like the grimy planet that they were on. Everything felt real and lived in. The sets were really cool. I thought there was some puppetry with the alien that was really cool and looked really good. Stand-up performer was Andy, played by David Jonsson.
I agree. That was on my positives.
He did great. Best character by far. I don't know what that says about me, who my favorite character was the robot, but...
I thought he did a really good job as a robot.
A lot of times, in these kind of movies, you're like, why did you do that? Why didn't you do this? There are a couple of those in this movie, but Andy's always got the level head where it's like, hey man, she's a goner. Like, we can't open the door, otherwise we're all dead type deal. Yeah. And we needed that sense of logic in this movie that really helped.
I had one more con before we just shift.
Sure, shift ahead.
So maybe you can answer me this, because, well, first of all, the gravity goes on and off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if they shoot the bullets and the gravity's up, so the acid's up, but the gravity, it basically switches on and off every like couple minutes.
Yeah.
So when it turns off, does it not still, the acid not still fall down and make a hole in the ship?
Are you talking about when she was like shooting and stuff? Or
yeah.
maybe I don't quite remember. I feel like it does when the gravity falls, the acid falls too, and then they're like up in the elevator shaft, and then
so
they all get sucked down.
They were gone far enough.
Yeah. Maybe.
So something that happens is they're basically floating up, and then it's like 10 seconds, gravity turning off. She's fallen to her death, and the alien decides to catch her with its tail. It doesn't kill her, and it's like holding her, and you see one of them face grabbers or whatever you call them.
Mm-hmm. Face huggers.
Face huggers creeping in there.
Uh-huh.
And then I think the robot sent down the elevator or whatever, something like that. But to me, one of my cons is it seems like the alien, it just kind of picks and chooses when it wants to kill because like...
It likes to play with his food a little bit.
But some, it's just like it'll kill immediately.
Yeah.
Because like her boyfriend, or whatever it is, he gets stabbed immediately, pulled up.
Yeah.
The one guy gets like acid poured on him, dies immediately, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Other people die. But then like her, it's like, oh, it seems like it's holding her to get one of these face huggers to implant itself there.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
They was like one of the last ones. I don't know.
And like the pregnant girl, they don't kill. Like they take her and she's kind of just being held in place.
Mm-hmm.
But was that just because they like infected her?
I think they were full. They said, let me put the leftovers in a box and take care of it later. Maybe they knew she was pregnant and they're like, oh, we got plans for you, baby. Let me tell you. I don't know.
Because I think she was like hurt, but I don't think she was technically infected until after she took the little serum thing and shoved it in her neck.
Oh, that's right. The serum, the black goo was what it did. Yeah.
Sometimes they are fine keeping them alive. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Someone explain it to me in the comments below. I'm sure there's a fine explanation. I just didn't know it. But
yeah. Well, while we're on cons, sorry, I got one real quick. The first two acts were great. You know, you had me at the first half. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But it did fall apart towards. You see that girl giving birth to that guy thing.
Yeah, seemed like they had a little too long of an ending. If you ask me.
That too. I don't know if you've seen. Do you know who Meat Canyon is on YouTube?
No.
He does these creepy animated videos. I'll show you later. I'll put a clip up. But the alien looked like Meat Canyon's version of XQC, and I couldn't get it past my mind that when it's just like a long, sickly, gross alien.
Yeah.
And it was not scary. It wasn't scary at all, in my opinion.
Just kind of weird looking, yeah.
Yeah. They had such a cool, they did, I think, justice to the alien, the xenomorphs, because I'm like, dang, these things look cool, they're scary, they're properly scary. I'm shivering in my timbers here.
Yes,
but then they introduced that new one, and I'm like, oh, all right. It didn't do it for me at all. And like you said, the third act, I was like, I thought we were done when they were like gearing up to go. I thought that was the movie. And then you're like, oh, we got another 30 minutes of this. Okay.
Well, moving on to the pros. Like you said, it looks good. If you take away the CGI Ian Holm, other than that, I thought it looked good.
Flawless,
besides, again, maybe that last human baby, whatever that thing was, looked kind of a little weird, but I didn't hate it. I really like the use of sound.
Yes.
There's a scene towards the end where she's fighting with
human baby man.
We'll call it that.
Yeah.
And she drops, there's a hole in the ship or whatever, and she's got a tether cord, and she falls out of the ship, and it just goes silent. And I'm watching this RPX, Regal Unlimited, and And I was like, oh, like there's plenty of times throughout the movie where it's just silent, and it really gets you on your toes. And you know me, I like that in the movie, but I may have smuggled in a few snacks here, and I'm like eating, and then it's like silent, and I can hear the whole theater can hear me snacking on my pub mix here. but I thought that was really good. And like I was saying earlier, I try to put myself in this position, and I thought I was getting a little nervous, a little antsy, because, you know, some movies you just kind of know certain characters are safe, like, all right, nothing's going to happen to them. Mm-hmm. But this one is like, I was pretty confident the girl would live, but I'm like, maybe the robot will die. I mean, maybe she'll die. But as far as like everyone else, I'm like,
he's dead.
I think people are going to die.
For sure, yeah.
It kind of just happens quick on a whim, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't, it's not one that you have it leading up 5 minutes earlier, like, all right, well, this guy's going to die in a couple minutes. It's like, oh, alien stabs this guy.
And in my extensive knowledge of Alien versus Predator, I think the coolest aspect of that movie was the death scenes. Because they got some cool death scenes, right? And this one has, I was a little disappointed because there's 5 main characters, right? Which means at least 4 deaths. Maybe some more. Going through the deaths, I thought they were good. Which one would you say was your favorite to watch someone die?
My favorite?
For me, it was probably the guy who was racist towards aliens.
Yeah.
And the acid was dripping on him.
I thought that was, tell me if when I first saw it, I thought it was the guy from The Ringer. When do we get ice cream? I thought it was that guy.
It might be him. I don't know.
I don't know. It looked like him. But yeah, his was kind of, like that one was more of a icky death, I guess. Yeah. But it was satisfying because, I mean, everyone hates this guy.
It was a bit telegraphed. Like the first time he opened his mouth, I'm like, that guy's going to not only die, but he's going to get a death that's brutal.
Death.
And
yeah, that one was brutal. Like the first death with the alien breaking out of the chest. I mean, I feel like that's classic Alien. They probably have that in each movie. The
boyfriend just gets his eye poked out by the little mouth, I guess. And then the other one gives birth to that alien baby. So not much.
Not a ton. But
anyway, I would recommend it if you don't mind just a little bit of gore in your life. Yeah. And a little bit of spookiness. If you're watching it in the dark with a friend, go see it then. But I feel like Alien fans, if you're a fan of Aliens, you might like it too.
Yeah, but I just realized the pregnant, she's the only one I actually recognize. She's from Dora the Explorer.
And Madam Web, yes.
Oh, really? She's one of them, huh?
She is one of them, yeah.
I didn't realize that was her. Yeah, she's also in Sicario, too. And Instant Family. Oh, she's a good actress. I feel like she's been in some good movies.
Yeah. I would be down for a sequel if they ever do one. But,
I'd watch it. It makes me, I think, as far as reviews go, like I was saying, this is one of the better, most people say this is one of the better Aliens. So if you're into Alien, you're going to like it. And it seems like this one's more in its roots of a horror. Versus the other ones are more sci-fi, I guess, like some of the later ones. But I'd recommend. I'd probably give it a 3.5. What are you thinking, Steve?
Yeah, probably a 3.5. Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to crack my top 10 for the year, but it's certainly not a bad film, if you ask me.
Yeah. I guess that's all I got, Chris.
Yeah, so that's all I got.
If you guys liked it, sound us off in the comments. You can comment also on Spotify, too, if you knew that. Be sure to like and follow, subscribe. We're on bloody Twitter. We're on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. If you're coming from our Borderlands video, thanks heaps, and thanks for subscribing over there. But if that's all, Chris, you got anything?
Yeah, answer all my questions here. Tell me I'm an idiot. I missed this part in the movie. Let me know, because, I miss things. I'm not the most observant man. So, just let me know what answer these questions we have. And thanks for listening, and have a good week. Bye.
Bye.
Popcorn, stale popcorn.
Popcorn. Pop, pop, pop.
This is the
Stale popcorn.
Popcorn.